13th Amendment to the Constitution makes it unconstitutional for someone to be held as a slave. In other words, it grants freedom to all Americans.
That's why I think it's so important that this film is called 13th, because so much of why we're in the place that we are, I think, comes from our decisions that were made right at the time of abolition of slavery, right? And in that document, in the founding papers, with the 13th Amendment and there being this criminality loophole there could have been a lot of decisions made. That loophole could have sat there.
There's a clause, a loophole.
If you have that embedded in the structure, in this constitutional language, then it's there to be used as a tool for whichever purposes one wants to use it.
It's less about re-educating people or educating people, because there's a lot of the things that we know. I think there's a lot in the doc that has been touched on in other docs and other great books and news reports. But sometimes when you see it all together, it makes a difference. It's not one brushstroke that's got us into this, many brushstrokes that's painted this picture.
The Constitution makes it unconstitutional for someone to be held as a slave. There are exceptions, including criminals.
The 13th is talking about, it's asking a question. We're not giving the solutions. We're trying to ask as many questions and ask people to interrogate this issue as much as possible. It's not a one solution problem. It's not one solution problem because it's a problem with many tentacles. They can take aim at me, but if they take aim at me, they're talking about prison, and they're talking about police aggression, and they're talking about these things in a way that I want them to be talked about. So that's the very point of 13th, is to be a centerpiece for discussion.